So I first started performing with a laptop, and I sat there with a microphone, and I'd kind of sing and change the parameters and create a performance in that way. But I really missed that sort of being able to stand up in front of an audience and interact in the way I would if I, as a singer. I started working with controllers. I just started originally with a joystick, and I would use the joystick to manipulate and change the parameters while I was singing or vocalising or making vocal sounds, so I could create textures by processing the sound, and then I could layer that up. I could make a sound and, with my voice live, capture that, use that as a bed track, and then start to layer other vocal sounds over the top of that. So, I could sort of become a whole band if I wanted to. I ended up building my own controller, and I based it on a microphone stand. So, a tool that I would normally use in performance. I situated all of these sensors on the stand based on the kind of interactions that I would use with the sound while I was performing. So there's actually a tilt sensor in the bass, so I can use that while I'm singing, and that can be processing my sound in whatever way I choose. I'm not very good at programming. I'm not a sort of a tech head really, which is one of the things I just love about Mulch. It just makes it's really easy to use. But this is a PD patch, so I'm just conditioning some of the signals there. I spit out the data from that and bring that into AudioMulch. Mulch has a really fantastic way of allowing you to shape the outputs that you're getting from these. So basically, they're all control voltage outputs. They go into a little box that spits out MIDI. So all of the parameters pretty much in Mulch can be controlled via MIDI. So just some of the things you might like to do is just and put a little filter over the vocal. So I've just got like a basic EQ there, and I've just set up some filtering. I've got this little contraption here called a frostcator, and I can basically just map this gain so that I end up with this filtering happening on the voice in real time. So I've already set this up. So I just set up my little MIDI control there. I want it to be controller number 19, which is this mic grip here. So you can see that when I squeeze that sensor, the tighter I squeeze it, the more filtered voice you're going to have. So I can do that stuff live while I'm performing and kind of play the effects, I suppose. You can use this little graph here to shape it so it does exactly what the sensor's doing, exactly what you want in a musical way. I go for I want a distorted vocal. I'm at the sort of climax of a piece. I want to tilt my stand and have a nice distorted vocal sound. So there we can kind of get more of a kind of distorted sound there. Or even just reverb, just want to have a little bit of reverb. I've got these distance sensors here, and I can start to, the more I bring my hand out, the more reverb I can have, so I can be playing that. So you've also got a visual element to what's happening as well. But I can do this away from the computer, which is one of the reasons why I wanted to have this, this mic stand set up. So typically in performance, I could have a timeline with some files that play back, and then I could stand away from the computer and just perform with my microphone and change the parameters and control the processing in real time. I can do whatever I want in Mulch with those controllers. So I can generate a piece and move through patches in Mulch using the little buttons, the switches, or the foot controllers. I can add effects to the live vocal input. As I play the distance sensors, that might be introducing some sort of reverb or moving the sound out towards the speakers. I collaborate. I do performances with other musicians where we might be synced to a clock. So I could be sending them data, or I could send them a split of my vocal input, and I can do time stuff. The granulators, I can have stuff happening that's, you know, that's working with the other performers. I've worked with a choreographer. We set up the choreography, then we videoed it, and then it was almost like then I could sit down at the computer with Mulch. I had the MIDI data, I had the visuals. It's almost like if you had a film in front of you and you were composing to the film. I've done some work with surround sound, like a 4-channel setup. So I might sing and capture the vocal, and then I could use the joystick to kind of move that around the speakers, around the space. I've been using Mulch since 2001, and there's so many possibilities.